Welcome to GameBreakers. This is a Bard's Tale with Diamond, Allison, and usually David, but he's having some technical difficulties tonight. Something about a power surge and the laws of physics. So, what are you gonna do? But meanwhile, we'll just kind of shadow play his character, and I'll work it out as a GM. That's part of my job. However, the group, as we last left our intrepid heroes, had just emerged victorious from the combat with the undead ninja, and I'm not sorry. The shadowy wight had then figuratively spilled his guts to your speak with dead, and I trust that you remember the clues that you were given. Or wrote them down, if not actually remember.
No, probably neither. Whoops.
Well, they're immortalized forever in video if you go back one episode. So, after that victory and interrogation, you guys had a safe campsite. Marcuson, the pirate, bid you farewell and told you that this is as safe a spot as any to bed down. And you did. Morning breaks in the swamp. Although, kind of tough to tell. The air gets muggier. And the fog eventually burns away as it goes into late morning. You guys are able to break camp and start on the road, no problem. With Click-Clack's exceptional rangery capabilities, you guys are never going to get lost and are not, you don't have to pick a specific path this time. You know where the road is, so it's a pretty easy way back. Like the journey back is much less arduous because you can take the easy ways. Where do you guys go? Click-Clack, as you get to a fork in the road, tells you that this way lies the city and other transport. He must head to what you can see is a colossal cypress tree, easily 200 feet tall, and you can see even from the maybe mile away that you are that it's sort of pockmarked with little. It looks like little rooms and pieces of architecture, as though it's grown into a living space. There are parts of the gnarls of the bark that are clearly, paths down the side of it. And he lets you know that he's got to go report it, and that is how we will explain his technical difficulties. From there, where do you go? It's maybe another quarter of a day travel back to town, or back to the nearest the waypoint inn where you were.
I'd like to return this bone relic to my temple. I'm tired of losing it.
I still have this slightly soggy receipt, and I believe you're still going to show me where that bank is. Plus, I'm a little curious about MacGuffin's leg bone here and to know more about it.
Yes, thank you for accompanying me and helping recover this. It's been a long trip to the bank.
Right? Almost a quest.
Right. Click-Clack accepts your thanks, and Lovelace gives a little claw salute. And they head off this one. So are you going where? The town, finding transport, riding all day and across the city, hitting the eagles, finding something else?
I had a pony.
Oh, that's right. You did.
And I had my steed. So I would. I want to ride back to town.
All right.
Fast travel so long as I can find my pony again.
Well, I made a roll for your pony, and Click Clack can easily take you back to where you left it.
Okay.
There's a rope on the tree. And Click Clack looks down and is like, wow, those are big gator prints. We should probably get out of here. I mean, I guess it's eaten recently, but I don't know if it can get full off of one pony.
Is my magic steed still there?
Your steed exists. Doesn't can't you just call it forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have to use a spell though.
Yes.
Fine.
I feel like we should maybe just fly back. What do you think?
Can we from here?
Well, we can go to the Screaming Eagle Eyrie.
Yeah, once you're on the road, you can easily get there.
Yeah, let's do that then. Save a spell. I didn't expect to come across mutant pirates, so I'm not sure what else to expect on the way to the temple.
Yep, pirates was not in my game plan, but hey, here we go. This was fun. But I think that maybe an eagle ride will be just what we need. It's like, going on the one roller coaster ride and then on another roller coaster ride, I guess.
Right, damn near relaxing.
It's like, goodness. It's like the big bad wolf after something much faster, but I can't think of the rest of the... It's been a long time since I've been in Virginia. I can't think of the rest of the roller coasters at Busch Gardens.
There are more cart deaths every year than there are eagle deaths.
Do you know statistically driving a wagon's more dangerous?
Only if you're driving a wagon. Okay.
And I bet there's a site on the internet that will tell me that I'm right.
All right. Are we gonna take some eagles back?
Yes. Let's.
All right. So you return to the Screaming Eagle Eyrie. You are greeted by.
Oh hey! It's my friend.
That's the mascot eagle.
It doesn't seem to recognize you.
That's okay.
Inner monologue. We all look alike to you.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just glossing right over it because whatever.
It gestures with its wings over to a set of scales, and you're measured and weighed, and it points to a rating on the chart on its sandwich board.
Oh, and I pay that dollar amount.
Okay.
All Stan's armor weighs it down.
Right. They also want to make sure that they assign you to an eagle that can carry you. There's union limits as to how much you have to carry. But anyway, so the Eagles Union is made up of badasses. So you, for the both of you, it's going to come out to 10 gold. Actually, no, that's way too much. 25 silver.
That's easy.
Right?
Yeah.
For cross-city travel, I'm assuming you guys are headed to... I'm going to have to look it up. Damn it. Sartosvrehnt.
Yes.
Is that in post? No. So yeah, if you're headed directly to Sartosvrehnt, 25 for the both of you.
Fire at it.
Right,
That's
15 and 10 for Struana if you're splitting it up like that.
Huh?
That's the rate. Is 15 for Stan, 10 for Struana.
For all their help, which at least got us there, I'm gonna pay them a gold plus, you tip your cab drivers.
Okay. Noted. You are outfitted on 2 strapping eagles that are informed of the way. The little bird points to the direction, points to the destination, and they seem to have a conversation in Eagle. And at which point it hops back and starts like waving for clearance. And the 2 eagles leap up, take off, and you are airborne. And yeah, it's about a half-hour flight. It's a broad city. I will pull up here the city map, since that's where we are now. And yeah, you fly. You fly first over lush, fertile farmlands, and then cross the river. You head over a mishmash of districts. From the air, flying over it, you can see very distinct architectural styles that are all built around these ancient structures that are all of a single style. This is a city that was built on the bones of an ancient city, and you can see the influences and how it's centralized and evolved differently as a city of cities. So you fly over several districts. Stan, you know them all by name. If you guys would like to check them by name, you can check out the Delta Confederacy Visitor's Guide. But yeah, you're able to see all of them from the air. Except, of course, for the Azure Enclave, because it's underwater. So, no luck. You do see what's called the Azure Road that juts out from the from the mainland out into the sea near the bastion, and then dips down into the waves. It's a massive enclosed road. And then you find yourself flying toward a fairly sheer face of mountain. And you see, like, coming into it, especially from the air, you see that on the cliff face, the city is laid out in such a way that there's a very specific design. Both of you with dwarven sensibilities can see that there are, in some sections, there are basically stories. The doors and buildings are laid out in such a way that it either forms a few sections of ancient words that are references to certain prayers or heroes or things, or it actually like sets out like a figure, like a dwarven figure or an historical figure. And then as you get closer, you see that these are all individual buildings carved into the mountain.
So the mountain face that we're approaching, this is my home, correct? Where
yes,
the city I grew up.
Yes. And you know it well enough to be able to spot the 5 different gates that are the entrances, or 4 different gates that are the entrances to the 4 what's called external burgs. And then the deep burg is, centered deep within the mountain.
I'll wave to any folks I know on the way in.
I'm just sort of in awe. This is an amazing view, and even though I spent a bunch of time on an airship, this is still just like, wow, it's so cool from above. like no matter how many times you're on a plane, you're still staring out the plane window and watching the cars get tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, right. A couple of times the eagle has to like dip the wing one way because you're trying to lean too far off to one side.
I'm also trying to have like sort of get a map of the city in my head. Like I can't get obviously roads or anything, but like this chunk and there's this building over in this area, you know.
Yes. So you arrive. The Eagle landing station, the Eagle transport station, is at the top of the cliffs, sort of central. On the map, it pings about here.
Oh.
Ping it again for good measure.
There it is.
So it's fairly central, and there are two main roads that have an intersection nearby. Upon landing, the Eagles, set their posture so it's easy to slide off, and you're shuffled out. There's a little corral set up, and you go past the guard station. Incidentally, while you were waving on the way in, there were plenty of people waving back. You are a folk hero, especially around these parts. Like, it's Stan!
And I look fucking majestic on an eagle. Shining armor. I'm just saying, even with swamp guts all over it, you know?
Swamp guts is a specific thing.
I can see the meme. Stan, fucking majestic.
So, God, in like Karen Hallian style, almost cartoonish with a
That's great. That's a great comic book snapshot. All right, so you land and are greeted by the guards. They recognize you, Stan. Good to see
Hey.
you. Didn't know you'd left the city or you'd left the burgs.
Back from a quest. See you for drinks later. I gotta get this to where I'm going. Hey,
Well,
how are you?
I see you've got someone I don't recognize here. Can I see your papers, ma'am?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Everything here looks in order. One moment. He goes and adds another whole set of papers that are all in dwarven, and attaches them to your paper stack. It's getting hard to fold now.
You have like a flip that's like an angle with like two little flippy bits.
You keep traveling around the city, you're gonna need like a personal assistant to help you with all your immigration.
Well, the guards have a little little merch stand of paper holders and clips with the sigil of Cuthbert on it.
But I'm not religious.
So it's official. But the guard is an arm of the Church of Cuthbert here. Even in the Dwarven district.
I know. No. Yeah. Like
Funds go to support the Dwarven wrestling team.
Everything here seems to be in order. How long do you expect to be staying?
I don't know yet.
That's not our favorite answer. Stan,
Well,
she gonna be with you the whole time?
Yeah.
All right. And he makes several marks on your paperwork.
I don't plan on moving in, but I can't tell you if it's going to be one day or a week.
Well,
She can help me on a quest.
we have a low opinion of vagrancy here in the Burgs. I'll tell you that much. But if you're with Stan, I'm sure you're fine.
I'm a class act. I'm not a vagrant.
Well, nobody is until they are. So, have a nice day. Thanks for coming by. Good luck on your quest, Stan. I'm sure it's a big deal.
It's so hard to play a lawful character. Fuck the police, man. I'm just you can edit that out if you want. I'm just all right.
That's cool.
That's why it's role playing and not real life.
Right. You Stan as a character do know that the guard has like they're not the New York PD. They have a very good reputation. Like they are incorruptible, which is hard to manage if you're not also an arm of a religion. So it's
fair enough.
So, on that note, you guys make your way into Salta. Damn it. I might as well have named it Sawagan.
That's what this is. This is karma.
Sartosvrehnt.
I spent all weekend trying to say the names of tombs in Morrowind.
All right. You guys are currently in the Hilbale district. That is the where most of the hill dwarves are from. It's built mostly outside the mountain, and it's on the top of the cliffs. It is the cliff top ward, essentially. There are roads down the mountain that switch back. There are also large cargo elevators that are able to take, not super fast, but they're able to take large loads up and down the cliffs. Dwarven craftsmanship, stone gears and shit. Where do you guys head first? Stan, you know this like the back of your hand.
Well, I'd like to get to the temple, but I feel like I owe some escort to the bank with this young bard here. So let's head to the bank and take care of this soggy note here.
Right. I'm 70.
What?
I'm 70. I'm just being a shit. Sorry.
All right. So it doesn't take long for you to sort of blend right into the crowd, Strana. It's mostly dwarves here. Let's see. So you guys are headed into the Voltmach district, which is the one that's deep in the mountain. That is where both the temple and the bank that you were referred to, that's where both of them reside.
Well, I hope that you also consider windows overrated. The best parts are in the deep mountain.
Was that to me? It was not.
Yeah, that was in character.
Okay. I mean, both.
So I imagine you're in the light is it's what, torches on the wall, or
I'm a glutton for experience.
If
it's interesting, I'm interested.
Most of it. So as you're traveling down, the architecture is a lot of right angles, and tunnels with very utilitarian, pragmatic layouts. As far as how it goes, some of them are at strange angles because of the fracture levels of the stone and things, at every intersection there's a fascinating set of essentially plaques that detail the history of like the carving of this tunnel and the who engineered it and which family and begats and begats and begats and begats, and why it was done in a certain way, some engineering details, essentially historical plaques.
I'm gonna be scanning for names I recognize.
History check.
Family history.
Nobody you'd recognize personally.
What?
Nobody you'd recognize personally.
Well, like, out of character, when I go out to my mom's, there's a museum there, and there's like a one-room schoolhouse, and on all these desks are names, and I'm like related to like a quarter of those people. So just scanning that history is going to be a 6, so how's 25?
Pretty solid. Not a lot of crossover. There's one clan that exists in both the North Mountains and here in Sartosvrehnt. But no direct ties. You recognize one set of names that helped engineer one area, and there's probably still a bunch of them living here, because that's how dwarves are.
Okay.
And bank first.
Yes.
All right. So you're able to direct her pretty easily into one very large cavern where it's set up basically circular in nature, about 45-foot vault, the rooftop. And in this area, there's actually light shafts that have been dug up to the surface that redirect light. So there's natural light in this cave. Most of the tunnels are lit with globes filled with a bioluminescent moss.
Ooh.
Gives off a torch-sized white light. And requires no maintenance. Or efficiency.
An engineer's dream.
So it requires no maintenance.
So you find yourselves in the Vault's Mock Exchange, and this is the heart of commerce, the financial and market commerce of the city. With the natural light in the cave, you're able to easily see even with your human eyes, and it's very busy here. The heart of commerce for the entire Confederacy. This is where massive amounts of treasure are stored. That in the walls of this cave are dug innumerable small, very, very secure vaults that are only accessible from within the banks that hold the securities on. Did you have a name? Did I give you a name of your banker contact?
You gave me a receipt. I have a physical receipt. I don't.
Right. Yeah, you got a referral from Bannon, your cousin.
He told me to go see a specific bank. I'm pretty sure he said a specific person. I don't remember now.
Okay, we'll check in the video. All right, so you arrive. You're the signage is very clear, especially if you speak Dwarven, and you're able to navigate this part very easily. You enter the bank. Your referral is accepted. It's like, yes, a respected customer. We're very, very happy to take your business as well. What can we do for you?
So I believe that I have this other receipt from my uncle for some. The short version was my uncle had money and stuff for me on this side of the world. And I also have this bag of topaz that I would like to be less carrying.
Would you like to exchange this into local currency, or would you simply like to have it on reserve?
God, what is topaz worth? Well, I'm gonna keep like 3 of them on me because I'm 5 and I like shiny things. But but I would like to do half and half on reserve and the other half in local currency.
All right. What you have left is about 30 gold worth of topaz.
Yeah.
All right. Minus 5 silver worth of topaz that you set aside in your pocket.
Yeah. They're pretty.
All right. Well, we'll keep half the stones, put the rest through the gem market, and credit your account. I see this list of provisions here. We can absolutely make that exchange. We can set you out letters of vouch to our approved referrals, and I can have this list prepared by the end of the day.
Excellent.
All right.
I think that's the simple part. Is my business is concluded, unless my uncle has sent any messages through the bank, which wouldn't be. I'm gonna go with wouldn't be unlike him. That it says this on your account. Also, there's a note right home.
Well, if I find anything as I'm executing the transfers, I will absolutely inform you upon.
Thank you.
The further exchange.
I believe that I'll be staying with Stan, the paladin. Stan Smith, the paladin.
Yes.
I believe that he's well known.
Well, once you've procured lodging and have a proper address, please come in and update your account.
Of course. Thank you.
And we'll see you later today. We appreciate your business.
So, Stan, I told him I was staying with you mostly because that was the easiest way to make sure they knew how to get a message to me in case I leave. You might know where I'm going. FYI.
Noted.
Hey, Stan, I'm crashing your couch. Thanks.
I didn't even say I was actually staying with him. I just realized I hadn't figured that part out yet.
Details. Let's go turn this back into the temple.
Certainly.
It's wearing a dent in my side.
So the temple is a little. It's a little deeper than the Volksmarkberg proper. It has. There's a special tunnel directly to it that, incidentally, is exceedingly defensible. That opens into the entire temple, carved out of a cavern that is of striated white stone, marble types, mostly marble and granite. Strikingly different from the other work here. They found special stone just to carve the temple. And in the historical plaques, it also mentions that dwarven druids spent time transmuting the stone into this stone to broaden it and make it structurally stable for a temple. 3 generations of dwarves, blah, 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 blah.
It's just, I understand it's dwarves, but it's like they took rock out and then brought other rock in. I don't know.
That's very dwarven.
They found a vein of special rock and expanded that until it was big enough to carve a temple in.
Okay.
Magic, right? They changed the stone around it to that stone.
For a second, I was thinking it was like Stonehenge, where they dragged the stone for thousands or hundreds of miles. All right, so we're in the temple, and I have this box. Who am I supposed to turn this into? Who sent me on this quest?
The priesthood. The high priest of the temple is not particularly involved in day-to-day matters, but there's a council of clergy that specialize in different areas. It's generally those that you would probably report to.
So kind of like roll charisma to make like a dramatic entrance to like, I don't know, just sort of be boisterous and jovial about being coming back from a quest. You know, that's victorious.
Well, I won't require one, but if you'd like to make one to put a benchmark onto how you play it, I'm happy to go for that.
Sure, 16. That's pretty good. I'm pretty dramatic and.
Right. I'll give you advantage for a soundtrack.
Do you want a bagpipe accompaniment?
Sure, that'd be great. You could give me a bonus.
I like doing this.
Just burst through the doors. I would be more boisterous, but our child is sleeping, so I'm not gonna like get as loud as Stan does. But
right, once again, IRL intrudes. Well, all right, you do. The temple tends to be a fairly jolly place anyway. It's not one of those quiet chanty type temples. There's a lot of crafting going on and banging of hammers and drinking of booze and shouting of prayers, claiming of various things. All right, so Stan, do you go in on your steed or you...
No.
Okay.
I don't bring the steed in.
All right. So you go striding in, accompanied by dwarven war pipes, and it's fucking majestic. So many eyes are drawn to you. Immediately, a whole row of beer steins are immediately tossed in there. Stan!
Stan somehow has one too already.
This is totally my type of place. I like this. This feels comfortable.
It's the kind of place that makes you feel religious.
There are some temple warriors that are on duty. They're like, welcome back. What have you a report? Should we gather a member of the council?
Yes. We've recovered the item and safely return it.
Human and everything. You're still a dwarf at heart. He gives you a big old forearm shake. I'll go deliver the news. We'll prepare a vestry and have you speak with the clergy yourself. Your companion?
Yes. She assisted me on this quest to recover the bone. Struana, right? I'm like out of character. Sorry, Struana.
What's your clan, stranger?
Hardjaw.
A good name. A good name. Sounds like you're from the northern. Well, we'll get some news from you later from the north. Until then, I'll be off to deliver the news. And with that, we'll take a brief break. So, if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see it better, hop over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/GameBreakers, and we'll be back after, well, it's going to be immediately because the way editing works, but it sounds dramatic when I say right after this. And welcome back. So, you guys are at the Dwarven Temple. You have informed the guard they're preparing a room for you to go in and speak with one of the council members, whomever is available. And in the meantime, you're in a room full of dwarves that seem really happy about divinity and dwarvenness and, that sort of thing. They are currently in the ritual of evening drink prayer.
Do you?
Oh, mid-afternoon drink prayer. Wasn't that long. Didn't take you that long.
Struana, do you want to tell a tale from our recent adventure to the crowd?
I'd be happy to, especially if there's such a willing crowd.
Hey, slam, 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 slam. Up to the front, slam, slam.
I get for performance here. That's a plus. Will 18 get me a good story?
Doesn't suck.
Okay. I think we're gonna sort of like brush over some of the lighting boats on fire part. Sort of skip to capturing the dangerous pirate with the tentacle arm. Gooey, like describe it in a gooey, gross detail that like people who like stone walls and right angles will really make them get a good visceral reaction about that. And the smell of his breath.
And by the time you've set the scene, they're into it. They're boo, yeah. You know, the fires are only mentioned really as a backdrop for Stan's misty step.
Everybody loves every bard loves an easy crowd. It's true.
Right, and it's easy when you have a designated hero. That's
right. And about the battle with the undead ninja. What?
And we won't leave the ranger out, certainly.
No. Everyone gets to be a hero. We're focusing more on Stan, because they're really to that.
It's Stan's craft. His hometown.
But everyone else did useful stuff too. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Right. And then end with the 5 questions, which I will totally review at some point, I promise. Maybe the next break. And the end with him I remember the last question being that he sacrificed his name a pillar. Nah. And like have that be like this weird, strange end to this story that leaves an apprehensive and what's next for our hero.
Right.
Light stim.
You did also get in that round of questions the name Baranorn, if I remember, and the ancient knight or something. Both of those, the description of the thing's name and the name of the knight get some hush whispers in the crowd.
That's what I was going for. Like, oh, there's a thing, and I'm gonna try and figure out some there's not a spotlight, or if there is, it can't possibly be that bright. It's a bunch of drunk people. We don't like bright lights, even drunk dwarfs. Which means I can actually identify some of those people doing some hush whispers and potentially talk to them afterwards.
Indeed. Well, you do. It's not too hard to notice.
What?
It's not too hard to notice.
Yeah. And Stan returned the MacGuffin, hooray, being the end of that.
Which is about the time that Stan is approached by a guard and said, the room is prepared for you. If you'd like to accompany me, sir.
Yes.
And escorted out by one of the guards as they're applauding Struana's performances. Several drinks are piled on the table in front of you.
As it should be. Everything I want in life.
Validation and booze. Do you make any attempt to follow Stan? Or do you receive the adulation of the crowd?
I think I'm gonna let Stan do his turning in part because I do want to know, but I also want to talk to these people about the thing.
Okay.
And I feel like that might be easier without the hero worship happening in the same room.
Okay.
Oh no, I split the party.
Ninjas attack now! No. All right, Stan, you are led into a side room that's one of the vestibules, for various conference rooms and meeting rooms, and dwarves meet about a lot of things. There's a council for everything, and you are met by Counselor Dirk, Durgh, Dirk, and a retinue of his advisors. He generally, in his responsibilities, is over the maintenance of sacred items, as well as his part of the temple tends to sponsor a lot of adventurers to go out to ruined places and find old dwarven stuff. He's the master of history and stories, etc., etc. Many long titles in dwarven culture.
So, and you said his title was councilman? What was it?
Counselor, or generally counselor is the title of address.
General Counselor, I've returned with the relic I was sent to find.
It was delayed. Was there trouble?
Yes, it was. There was a planned theft in a public place, and we had to track it to swamp pirates.
Well done, Stan. Well done.
And they had been hired by a rather strange creature, indeed. He was a ghoul, like a vampire type. What was he? I can't recall now.
I don't know that you guys ever figured it out.
An undead creature that was, he was an undead creature who had power to sway pirates' interests.
Undead? Is this a sentient undead?
Yes.
An independent creature? Tell me more. Did it appear as a human?
Or yeah, it was fairly humanoid.
Corporeal? You could touch it.
Yeah, my hammer could touch it.
Don't forget the will-o'-the-wisps.
Oh, and it, yes, he could also, it seemed to either control or have some sort of association with will-o'-the-wisps that would just pop up and attack and run away.
They tend to be creatures of opportunity. They find and travel near other sources of evil in order to catch its leavings. But this other creature you speak of, tell me more about it. What? Magic? Did it cast spells?
It would attempt to attack and disengage, and jet away, quickly jump away. Didn't work out so well with me, but that was the primary strategy. And there were some spells, I believe. Can't recall now.
Most vexing. This doesn't sound specifically like anything of which I am aware. I can find out more. I'll let you know if anything is immediately relevant. If you remember anything else, any detail may shed some light on these goings-on. But hopefully, we have no need of further information, as you have faced down the threat, right?
Yes. So we're talking about 5 questions that did he tell us that? What were we talking about earlier with that?
That was Strana's speak with dead. You asked for the thing, 5 questions once you had slain it. Do we all want to break 5 minutes and tell the crowd to pop back to that area in the video, and I can pull it up so we all know, because it seems important in a couple of scenes.
I think those were all the important details that I just told him, unless I'm missing something crucial.
Well, we'll do a flashback review of Stan, like thinking back through his notes, or thinking, and we'll take a brief break. Be right back after we've refreshed our memory on what happened 2 weeks ago. And we're back now that we reviewed our video notes and everybody remembers what happens last week. Interestingly, the video notes also included everybody actually writing down notes that they couldn't find tonight. That was the best part.
That's a lie. I actually found my notes after realizing I was writing notes in the video. I'd forgotten that I wrote down notes. They're right there.
GM tip number 45. Videotape your sessions so when your players forget their notes.
We did learn, however, that we're hilarious, and I give Thomas a lot of shit.
Well, if you disagree, let's hear it in the comment section. In the meantime, so Stan, you are in the vestibule with the cleric and his retinue, describing the answers to these questions. Meanwhile, Strana, you have just delivered the answers to these questions, and you know, for dramatic purposes, these are happening at about the same time. The camera is popping back and forth as both of you are saying these things. So let's really quick not make the audience actually go back and rewatch the other video. So what were the answers to these 5 questions? The first
question was, who does he serve? And he responded that I serve Lord Boromir, Scourge of the Land, and your doom.
Boronor.
I wrote it down right.
This is why you always got docked in Bard class, too. Like, no, that wasn't...
Yes. Fortunately, I can play notes. Anyway.
He dwells in the mountains north of our disgusting city.
Deep in the mountains north of your disgusting city. What he was trying to do with the MacGuffin's thigh bone was to create an item that will fulfill his oath. What is his oath, you might ask? And that is nothing less than the destruction of the Confederacy and all that lies within it. And just for good measure, we asked him his name, and he said, I sacrificed my name upon a pillar of black fire, and no piece of that exists now. For comedic intent, we decided to call him the guy with the rags.
So there are some whispers in both the retinue and the crowd as the name thing is thrown out, and it's the brotherhood, it's the brotherhood, it's the brotherhood, it's the brotherhood. And both of the groups are impressed, and it looks like a little bit horrified at the implications of what you discovered.
Okay. I think it's go time to listen to them about those implications. So, following the applause and drinking part, cheers! Yes!
So we're going to keep bouncing the camera back and forth. I'm going to assume both of you are asking the same questions of the 2 different groups, and you're going to get similar answers. So we'll just cut back and forth, and I'll try and play the crowd and the clergy at different points. So we'll start. So Stan, you see the clergy go like pale a little, like pale to the roots of his beard.
Do you know the name? Boranor?
I do. And meanwhile, in the crowd, in the back of the room, there's one old grizzled veteran that looks like he used to be a temple guard. He's got like most of one hand missing, and like there's a patch of his face where no beard grows. And he's like, I do.
Was he one of the ones like whispering when she mentioned him?
Yeah, he went grim when she mentioned the name Boranor.
I'm totally gonna like skedaddle my way over to him as quickly as legally possible.
So both of them express to you, and several of the other dwarves like turn on their drinking bench or like shift their stool his direction, and meanwhile the retinue in the vestibule turns toward Dirk as he is about to speak about exactly the same story, and that is 3 generations ago. The dragon slept for 1,000 years, some say. No one knows what made him sleep or why he woke when he did. But while he slept, this city festered without his direction. And so there rose a knight in the service of Pelor, god of healing and the sun, one of the human gods mostly. And he swore an undying oath to cleanse this city. And he failed. The oath he swore was so powerful that it bound him to this world, cursed him with undeath for his failure. And now, imbued with dark power, he cannot rest until he has finished the deed. And by this time, cleansing the city has probably simply twisted to razing it to the ground. This is an old, ancient evil, and it has raised its head before. Festered for some hundreds of years, rose up, created a rebellion in the middle of the city, and the slaughtered were raised as undead in his service. The Church of Cuthbert got wise early enough, but that could have been the end of all of us. Without the assistance of the dragon, most of the city may still be under his rule. If he is making moves like this, says both the veteran and the counselor, we can expect dark times ahead. And both the crowd and the retinue get quiet. So there's some brief whispers and then silence. Stan, what do you say about this?
I said we can turn undead.
Mr. Nora, what do you say about this?
Are there any written records of that time period?
The veteran nods his head. He said the library certainly has detailed records of that time, tactics and methods employed. And the priest nods and says the churches will have to prepare themselves across the city, not just Moradin, but all the gods of good. The mages should know as well.
So I don't know as much about this part of the world as camera, probably should. But doesn't the dragon still protect you?
Oh yeah, the dragon woke some generation and a half ago. But there was a time things were dark. Meanwhile, we've been blessed by Flume's protection for these several hundred years, as humans know them.
So I think we should mount a quest and go smash him.
I guess we gotta pick up a dragon.
Well, the dragon is awake. The dragon is awake and active. You saw it flying around, I believe, at one point.
Maybe we can get the dragon in to help. Maybe the dragon will join our party.
My brain goes, ooh, this quest giver is sending me to another quest giver.
This is Stan. He said, this is what heroes get for thinking too much about what they do. If he hadn't indebted himself in such a big quest that he couldn't actually fulfill, he would not be undead. He thought too hard about it. Don't think so hard about it. Just be a good person.
It is hubris that drives a Death Knight. And that is what Boranor has become.
But his oath was to protect this city?
To cleanse it.
Cleanse it. Sorry, don't know why I misunderstood that when you said it.
Probably. Although it's really like a positive connotation to cleanse the city.
No problem. And hands you another drink.
I want to go talk to a dragon. Jeez. Well,
I think at this point,
I'm, all of 7. I mean, I'm going to say to the veteran, okay. I'm all of 70. I am supposed to be going off and finding things for my uncle.
Hair older than you.
I believe you, but crusades are for the young. But what do you recommend?
Wiser people than I decide the direction of the axe. I only ever swung it in service to my people.
It seems to have served you well.
I'll bet you at this very moment, Stan himself is giving this information to the council. And perhaps between they and he and you, wiser folks may direct the axe where it should go.
We got a crab ranger too.
I look forward to meeting him.
What was the veteran's name? I wanted to say I asked him his name, but you were in like storytelling mode, so I didn't want to interrupt that.
You didn't. I hadn't made one up. He's dwarf veteran number 4. He doesn't have his SAG card. This is all an improv scene.
We should consult with the dragon and then go attack this Death Knight.
We both decided this. We just have to get in the same room.
And Dirk says to you, I will consult the council. And of course, the church does not command your actions, as you are driven by the divine itself. But if you might entertain the thoughts of an old priest, I would suggest caution and circumspect action. It doesn't do to strike the iron before it's hot. You'll simply make the steel brittle. And if something breaks here, we might all go with it. It sounds as though your bard companion had a sound mind, and it would do to reacquaint yourself with this gnomish fellow, as the druids are likely to be a needed ally in this moment in history. That's all the counsel I can give you right now. Go celebrate your victory, Stan. You earned it.
Well, let me know what the council and you come up with. And he pats him on the back, gives him like a man hug, and then heads back out to the hall.
The dwarven like forearm shoulder bump. I don't know how dwarves greet themselves. Headbutts. Nah. That's
I feel like they do like a bro fist bump.
Elbows.
It could look like a hammer.
Right? The hammer fist. I don't know. The secret dwarven handshake, whatever it is. Anyway, and he immediately begins directing, like, I need you to go get me Counselor Voss, and you to go get me Counselor Markenberger, and you to go get me Counselor Bacon. And I don't know why I named that one Bacon off the cuff, but now it's canon. So, and he says, I must go pray.
I'm waiting for Stan to come out.
All right, you and he turns like to the like little prayer vestment of the vestibule that has like Moradin swinging a hammer at something, a model dwarf, and begins a very low dwarven chant of prayer. The retinue floods out. Strana, you see them all running. The veteran looks and he goes, looks like the news is afoot.
Give me something fried. Yeah, more beer.
Sid walks out behind the crowd of interns and is like, get this.
Stan, we gotta go talk to a dragon! Which I'm going to be very close to Stan when I basically say that very loudly into his face.
A little
he's
slosh.
He's like eating his say, I agree, let's put food first.
All right, so you feast. You are given a paladin's welcome home in a temple after a quest. Everybody has heard the story, and it is now going out by dwarven acolyte messenger across the entire temple district. You guys now have some time. Like you guys are now at the same table, probably with the veteran and a few other old timers that he seems to be conferring with, and just generally chit chatting. He introduces them as Dwarven Extra number 4 and Dwarven Extra number 5. I don't know.
Stan, this is Versturf. Oh, I can do this. Versturf. Chunky. There's occasionally a character with a nickname, right? Right.
I was just gonna name them after like Wilson brothers, so you're doing better than me.
For sure, Chunky and Rudrak.
Okay. Those are they. The veteran is Chunky.
And as you can see, they may have been through a thing or two.
Excellent.
It's a pleasure to share a spirit with you. He clanks the glass. You've definitely seen these guys before. They're regulars at the temple. Old temple guard veterans.
I also figured they'd be really happy being introduced to a local hero. And also, is there anything stronger than this beer? Because, it's beer, but it's beer.
I'm sure they have something somewhere. It's not my preference.
You know the dwarven prayer schedule includes incrementally stronger drinks as you go through the evening, because they figure the longer you need to pray, the more you need to drink.
Okay, then I know that thing. Okay, never mind. I don't ask that question.
That's a cultural thing. I'll just throw that out there. It's like it's about 15 minutes, but I know the keg deacon, and I can probably get us the next round a little early. Sure, it won't hurt for Stan. Because your background kicks in every time you're just hanging out with normal people.
It might hurt him a little. It might hurt him a little, but it's not like we're doing anything tomorrow except I need a space to stay. I need somewhere to sleep. And I need somewhere to work on leather because, seriously, I think that's going to be important really soon.
As it happens, says the one that started with the R, my nephew owns a lodge nearby.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm sure for the story that you just told us, he could find you a corner.
You okay with that?
I never.
Go ahead.
I presume Stan sleeps at the temple in some quarters. Otherwise, he must have like a house or an apartment. I hadn't really thought about it.
You are welcome to one of the bunks. The barracks bunks are bed-ish sized that are carved into the wall.
Yeah, I'll sleep at their quarters.
Okay.
It's nothing like sleeping in the middle of a mountain.
Just feels safe.
Like, I have no idea if Strana agrees with that, but Diamond agrees with that. One of my favorite apartments was underground. Like, my room was underground. I was very happy with it.
Nice.
So, say the veterans, what's your next move? Are you inspired to action?
I'd like to talk to the dragon.
I think that's the next thing we need to do, is go talk to a dragon.
The council wants me to wait before taking too hasty action. You didn't tell me not to go talk to the dragon.
Well, it is the dwarven way. I understand your human impulse to move, but the stone will last. We'll find the chink in the armor. A careful look guides a good strike.
That's very reminiscent of a book I read once.
How to be a dwarf, a child's manual.
He wasn't a dwarf, though. He was a man. Like, this is the Hobbit. Come on. Anyway. Or not the Hobbit. Wait. Yes, the Hobbit. I may have just mashed up every Tolkien I've ever read at one time.
So, what do you guys do?
What, people are going to watch this and then they'll learn how to fold a heart. It'll be easy.
Right? They're multitasking. Just slipping it in.
Drink and eat and go to the lodge.
Okay. There is a lodge there, right where he said it would be. The old veteran will take you there. Stan, you're welcome to stay as long as you like in the temple. You guys get another night's sleep if you'd like it.
I'm going to stay for as long as there's still alcohol, but yes. Sleeping after that is probably a good idea.
It doesn't stop.
Oh, okay.
Well, and so he's saying that like a second day would have passed, right?
It sucks to be a dwarf and have to exercise restraint. I'm just saying. But I really want to get this leather armor made. Dang it.
Do you need anything in like from shops or? Oh, and you should go check on your bank.
Why?
Because they
I
were
was just listening, like things to do because I thought Thomas was saying like a whole day would have passed after waking up.
They've gathered your list.
Yeah. It's going to be an engagement but also I want to the leather from the demon birds.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to turn that into something, and so I need to find a space to turn it into something. Because I'm assuming it's been enough time to have to now be able to work it.
The nephew that owns the lodge says, "Well, I get all my leather upholstery work done by one of my cousins over in the factory district.
I
He
have
could set you up with a workspace.
Okay.
You know, if you wanted to do yourself, I'm sure he's very good. He could also do it for you for nominal workman's craft.
I just want the space. I want to make it myself.
Okay. Stan, we can go. We're kind of in like montage speed mode. The evening goes by. The messenger comes to you to tell you Strana's stuff is together. I imagine you send him over to Strana's lodging. Anything you do?
No, he's. I guess he needs to find out where the dragon is. Where does the dragon live? Where is it? I mean, where is it currently?
In the Crimson Citadel, a large island jutting out of the top of the mouth of the river, and that is the dragon's lair. Massive ancient keep. Also, it's considered to be a site of immense power, or rumored to be anyway. The dragon certainly doesn't tell you it isn't.
Yeah.
It's known. The dragon on various holidays, some of which are holidays to the dragon. The dragon is seen, flying over the sky, recommitting to the peace.
Probably in the Crimson Citadel. I would like to wait to hear what the council's idea is about things. So I'm not going to immediately go there.
Dirk also mentioned the mages as a potential source of a resource, and the veteran mentioned the library as did maybe Dirk. as to the nature of the creature. Oh, the other thing you found out, the pillar of black flame thing. There is a brotherhood of assassins that operates within the Confederacy. And they are known for a legendary stealth and lethality. They can get in anywhere. They seem to walk with the shadows themselves. And this brotherhood.
Night.
And this brotherhood is highly secretive. It is known that they sacrifice their names to get certain sorts of power. But by not having the name, they merge with Shadow, or at least so the mythology goes, the rumor mill.
So we're definitely going more, what is the color of night, Sanguine, my brother, Lord Sithis, and less, nothing is true, everything is permitted.
Well, they're not specifically known to be undead. Like, that's not a normal thing. I mean, that's not what they have a reputation for. That part
I'm just making two different video game references.
Yeah, I'm catching it. I got it.
I didn't say so, but
the shadow walking and unarmed fighting type things that you saw are what they are known for. That shadow teleport thing.
So I do want to go talk to the mages, but could we do that next session? Or because it's getting kind of late.
It's nearly 11. I was going to wrap up this bit if there was anything you wanted to do, and we can also kind of set the stage for next session.
Okay.
Right, and it's okay to keep it short and broad plot strokes while we're missing it.
I'm definitely going to go to the library.
Sorry.
Diamond, what were you saying?
I'm going to go hang out in the library.
Okay.
And I'm going to make...
Stan, what were you saying?
I'd like to go speak with the mages, to learn more about how to destroy this guy, and to let them know what's up.
Okay. Sweet. So as it turns out, that is the same district of the city.
No longer the party. Yay.
The library, shockingly, is in the same place in the library district, and that is a magocracy. It's actually dominated by the same sort of triple hegemony as the Angel Wing Isle. That style of government is really popular among the Tower Mages because it's, a blueprint. And that part of the city is here. I will ping it again in case you weren't looking.
Yeah, the red one.
Yeah, that red district in the center.
Library district is pretty cool.
And it is indeed dominated by it's pretty easy to travel to. I don't know, are you pitching in gold for fast traveling, or are you taking the roads?
Can I hit you?
I mean, if we don't have to extend the adventure and I can walk, I'd like to do that because it's like looking, the seeing of things.
Yeah, the main roads are very safe and well patrolled. You're not going to get like random encounters,
I'm down to walk with you.
Encounters with thieves stealing things from. Wait.
I don't know, carrying anything important.
It's been a while since I've walked all the way to the library district. It'll be an interesting jaunt.
So you pass through a few districts on the way. We won't really focus on them, but you know, you get a sense of their architecture. Again, the main roads are usually kind of built like freeways. I mean, they're not built so that local traffic is going to be directly on the main road. It's built with outlets into segments of the city. So you don't necessarily have to like trod through all the like shop districts to get where you're going every time. The library district is, as the name might suggest, dominated by a giant domed library. It's got a kind of a multiple dome on it, 3-layered dome. And made of 3 different colors of jade, red, black, white. So, and bustling districts, a lot of inbound traffic, people carrying scrolls. You see a lot more bookish types, paper merchants, the smell of various types of you know, book manufacturing and things, exotic animals in the stalls as you pass through. You know, now you're getting into the actual neighborhoods. A lot of students, very young population, highly energetic in some areas, especially where it's kind of poor and, you know, where students live, the cheapest place. Except for the ones who have like the cushy library gigs that their family probably got them. And you arrive at the library. The first layer interior is mostly information stations. It's like young, tend to be youngish people, very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and friendly and answering questions. And we will leave things there. As you guys are in the library, probably you're going to run into a gnome. Hopefully David's tech works next week. Meanwhile, if you like what we're doing, hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you want it to get better, hop over to our Patreon page. You can find ways to participate and ways to help us, you know, up the quality with things like software and hardware and time. So thanks for watching and have a good game.